Hey guys, sorry it's a bit late. We've had a few issues trying to get everything online. Hopefully everything has been fixed right now. So we're now obviously live on YouTube rather than on Facebook, but that should still work. And we got ourselves set up and ready to go. So I've been told that a number of you are giving us comments up on Facebook. No, not on Facebook. Already got so caught out on YouTube, and Naomi and the Bailey clan, the Kenya Trust apparently are watching us. Hayley Greetham is watching us. Steph, who I realise might have just had a birthday. So happy 50th birthday, Steph. Well done. Congratulations. And Melvin and presumably Fiona. The what? The Hell Western Avengers. So this is the first time we've done this where my team in the background are speaking in my ear, so you'll have to bear with me because this could go awry. So I hope you're ready for tonight. It's going to be a bit of fun. We've gone with a heroes and villains theme. You'll find as the night goes on how loose this theme is at times, but we're going to have 8 rounds of 10 questions each. And within that, what you will do, you have 2 options. You can either use the Google form, which is in the description below, to fill in the answers, or you can do it manually, and you'll have to then send us a screenshot of or a picture of your answers so that Laura can mark those. So we would prefer it if you filled in the form rather than doing it manually, because that helps us out as we mark it and whatnot. But we realise that some of you might not be able to do that, so please do feel free to fill that in and to write that up. And what we'll do over the course of the evening, we'll give you a bit of an update. So the rounds, what we'll do is we'll have 1 round and then we'll do the answers after the following round. It will make sense as we go along. So our 8 rounds tonight are: Simon, who am I? Famous faces, geography, hero theme tunes, which could be interesting, history, heroes and villains of the Bible, movie synonyms, and general knowledge. And what we're going to have in the middle, there is a bonus round. So we'll have a 15-minute break between round 4 and 5, and then you'll have a chance to go and grab a drink, and then we'll move on to the last 4 rounds. So I hope that makes sense. So I think, unless there's anything else I need to do that I've forgotten, then we'll crack on and we'll go with our first round. So our first round is who am I? So make sure you have got yourself ready to answer the questions and fill those in, and we'll go for the first round. So question number 1. So I am 150 years old. I spent years training in Japan. I have a bad habit of smoking cigars. So I'm 150 years old. I spent years training in Japan. I have a bad habit of smoking cigars. Who am I? And you'll have a 30-second time that will come up in the bottom right hand of the screen for each one. And that will be your opportunity to answer questions. So you've got 10 seconds left to answer the question. And that's your time. Let's go on to question number 2. So I have a nanotechnology suit. I have a hereditary title, and I come from the land called Wakanda. Who am I? So I have a nanotechnology suit. I have a hereditary title. I come from a land called Wakanda. Who am I? I'm hoping this is all working fine and you're all getting on with it. Happy days. This is a more recent person, but you'll find we try to mix it up and do a few different bits and pieces throughout the evening to try and include everybody. So last 10 seconds, and then we'll move on to question number 3. So, question number 3. I fly an invisible jet. I was created in 1941 and I am a founding member of the Justice League. So, I fly an invisible jet. I was created in 1941. I'm a founding member of the Justice League. Who am I? Try and get your spellings right, because that will help us out. But also, remember, when you're filling in your team name, remember what you called yourself, because you're going to need to put that in every time. Ten seconds left. And let's move on to question number 4. So, I had my own TV show in 1978. I've been played by 3 different actors, and I am a genius. I had my own TV show in 1978. I've been played by 3 different actors, and I am a genius. Who am I? Jumped the gun there a little bit, but never mind. Last 5 seconds. And that's your time. Let's go on to question number 5. So I have a mastery over the weather. I sometimes have a mohawk, and I was married to Black Panther. So I have a mastery over the weather. I sometimes have a mohawk, and I was married to Black Panther. Who am I? There's your 30 seconds. You may or may not have noticed, look, I've got my nice superhero mug going on with my nice setup. Ten seconds left. And that is your time. So we'll move on to question number 6. So I was inspired by a Beatles song. I'm not from planet Earth. I really like guns. So I was inspired by a Beatles song. I'm not from the planet Earth, and I really like guns. Here's your 30 seconds. And last few seconds. And that is time. So we'll move on to question number 7. So I was orphaned as a child. I have no actual superpowers. I have a butler named Albert. So I was orphaned as a child. I have no actual superpowers. I have a butler named Albert. Who am I? Ten seconds left. It's really hard to know whether you're getting these in 30 seconds or not, but you know, we're trying to make it consistent. So let's move on to number 8. So I'm constantly pursued by Mr. Sinister. I have a brother named Havoc, and you shouldn't make eye contact with me. So I'm constantly pursued by Mr. Sinister. I have a brother named Havoc, and you shouldn't make eye contact with me. Who am I? We would play music in these little intervals, but the problem is that YouTube would kick us off if we did, so we're a little bit like, it's a bit quiet, isn't it? So you'll have to make your own noises at home. Last 10 seconds. And that's your time. So let's move on to question number 9. I've been played in the movies by more than one person. I'm an accomplished thief, and I married Batman. I've been played in the movies by more than one person. I'm an accomplished thief, and I married Batman. Who am I? This is your last 10 seconds. And that is time up. So, on to the final question of the first round. I am the last of my species. I was trained to be a living weapon. I like to use bladed weapons like swords and knives. So I'm the last of my species. I was trained to be a living weapon. I like to use bladed weapons like swords and knives. Who am I? Your 30 seconds on the clock. Into your final 10 seconds. And that is time up. So at the end of each round, what we're going to do, we're going to put all the questions up for you just in case you miss one, and then we'll give you a minute just to go through them all. So if you wanted to start a timer. And if you also want to just put a comment in the on YouTube, just with your team name, just so we have a good idea of how many teams we're looking for before we move on to the next round. So, and as soon as you're ready, submit your answers. Do put in the comments if you've got any problems, and we'll try and work stuff out. Hopefully there'll be no team problems. Don't know the answer to one of the questions, you might need just to put a dash in there. It might make you go back into the replay. Last 10 seconds. And that is time up. All the questions off the screen, and I'm just waiting to see if we've got some answers coming through. And whilst we're just waiting for that, a shout out to the Quiz Marvels who've joined us as well this evening. Pandemic and the Disco. Pandemic at the Disco. Oh, you know. Are we having problems? Okay. I didn't think to bring any random trivia and stuff with me, just in case. Problem is, we just need to be careful that we don't give any answers away to any questions later on. Are people able to submit their forms? Is that? Let us know if you have any problems doing that, or let us know if you have submitted your form. So, whilst we're waiting, which superhero delivers the morning paper? I'm not sure what the answer is because they started laughing before they finished the answer. This is really helpful. The newspaper man. I think we might need to vet some jokes before we carry on with these. Sorry about that, guys. We're a professional outfit, clearly. What does a superhero put in their favourite drink? Ice. Just ice. How are we going with the answers? Anyone? Okay. How many teams do we think we have? So we got 5 responses so far, so that means things are working and getting this. So sorry about the delay. We just want to make sure that everyone's had a chance to put their answers in before we move on to round 2. So shout out to the in-betweeners. Are we kind of there with the answers? Okay. I'll tell you, we'll give another 30 seconds just for you to finalise getting your answers in, and then we'll kind of move on. So I've got another joke for you. Do you know how to turn your tongue into a superhero? You just bite it real hard, and it will become Thor. I think I might need to be fed the whole punchline before bursting out into laughter. Honestly. You see what I have to put up with, guys. We'll go with one more joke before we move on. I'm not promising it's going to be any good. What's a bad superhero? What's a superhero with a bad sense of direction? Wonder Woman. These are bad jokes. So I think on that, with that, shall we move on? So we're on to our second round. So it's famous faces. So what you're going to see is a picture of somebody that's been a bit skewed, and you've got to try and identify who the hero or villain is. So, number 1, please. Who is this? I realise this one might be a little bit easy, but don't worry, they get a bit more difficult as we go along. And that's time, so we'll move on to number 2. Who is this? Got 30 seconds. Need to change my backroom staff, clearly. So your last 10 seconds. And that is time. So we'll move on to question number 3. Who is this? You may or may not recognise him. Well, that's a bit of a clue, wasn't it? So you got your last 10 seconds. And that's time. So question number 4. Who is this? Last 10 seconds. And that is time. So question number 5. Who is this? Last 10 seconds, guys. And then we'll move on to question number 8. Nope, 6. Where am I? I'm jumping questions. I don't know what's going on. That's your time up, so we'll move on to question number 6. Who is that? Ten seconds left, guys, before we move on. And that is time up. So we're going to move on to number 7. Who is this? Perhaps a little bit more easy than the last one. Maybe, maybe not. 10 seconds left. And that is time. So we're on to question number 8. Who is that? This feels like one of those weird optical illusion kind of ones, doesn't it? Last 10 seconds. And that is time up. So question number 9. Who is that? Ten seconds left before we do our final one of the round. So, question number 10. Who is that? He looks like he's got a really tiny body. 10 seconds left, guys. And then we'll show you all of them together. So here's all of them together, just in case you need to go back. So we'll put the minute timer up. As soon as you're ready, submit your answers so they're ready for marking. Last 10 seconds, guys. So that is your time up. So make sure you submitted your answers. So we've got 6 teams. We have the Quiz Marvels, Pandemic at the Disco, the In-Betweeners, Scooby Gang, the Avengers, the Kenya Trust, aka Northwoods. So make sure all 6 of you, your teams, get submitting your answers. And whilst you're doing that, and those are coming in, we're going to go through the answers to round 1. So this is the Who Am I round. So question number 1 was, I'm 150 years old. I spent years training in Japan. I have a bad habit of smoking cigars. It's Wolverine from the X-Men. Number 2, I have a nanotechnology suit. I have a hereditary title. I come from a land called Wakanda. It's Black Panther. I fly an invisible jet. I was created in 1941. I'm a founding member of the Justice League. That was Wonder Woman. I had my own TV show in 1978. I've been played by 3 different actors, and I'm a genius. It was, of course, the Hulk. Number 5, I have a mastery over the weather. I sometimes have a mohawk, and I was married to Black Panther. It was Storm. I was inspired by a Beatles song. I'm not from the planet Earth, and I really like guns. It's Rocket Raccoon. I was orphaned as a child. I have no actual superpowers. And I have a butler named Albert. Of course, was Batman. Number 8, I'm constantly pursued by Mr. Sinister. I have a brother named Havoc, and you shouldn't make eye contact with me. It's, of course, Cyclops. I have been played in the movies by more than one person. I'm an accomplished thief, and I married Batman. It was Catwoman. And number 10, I'm the last of my species. I was trained to be a living weapon, and I like to use bladed weapons like swords and knives. It was Gamora. So that was all 10 of the questions. So we'll move on to our geography round. Now, this is the round that is probably the most loose in terms of connections to heroes. So the first 5 questions are places in the world where Spider-Man is taking a selfie, and the second 5 questions are places in the world where Superman happens to be flying over. So you have to identify the locations. So question number 1. Spider-Man is taking a selfie in front of which famous landmark? You've got 30 seconds. Simon. Nice easy one to start with. Ten seconds left. And question number 2. Where did he just travel to next? On his world tour. Don't say I didn't warn you, it was tenuous. Input. You're going to have a really long time to try and guess where this is. I feel like you might not struggle that much with this one. So 10 seconds and then we'll move on. And number 3, where it's Spider-Man now. What is the landmark? Last 10 seconds. And we'll move on to question number 4. Which famous landmark is this? It's going on an interesting journey around the world. Last 10 seconds. And number 5, the last of the landmarks that Spider-Man's visiting. Whereabouts is this? Or what's the landmark, sorry? You thought you had it easy for the first 4, didn't you? And that's time up. So we're on to our Spider-Man one. So Spider-Man is flying over some of his favourite cities. Can you tell which city he is flying over? Sorry, Superman's flying. Just testing you there. So where's Superman flying over at the moment? You got 30 seconds. Perhaps a little bit more difficult from this perspective. Last 10 seconds. And number 7. Where's he flying over now? What city is he flying over? Last few seconds. And then we're on to question number 8. So, which city is he flying over at the moment? Last 10 seconds. And where is he flying over in this picture? What city? As you can see, this picture was taken in real life. It's real life Superman flying over. Last 5 seconds. And that's time. So on to our final question. So which city is he flying over now? Last 10 seconds. And so you've got now a minute just to complete it and to fill in your sheets, and then we'll give you the answers to round 2. So you've got a minute. Okay, and so what we're going to do now, we're going to move on and we're going to have the answers to round 2. So these are were our famous faces. So this question number 1 was ELASTIGIRL, aka Miss Incredible, but we're only accepting ELASTIGIRL as the correct answer. Number 2 was Martin Luther King Jr. Number 3 was Magneto from X-Men. Number 4 was Mother Teresa. Number 5 was Black Panther. Number 6 was Nelson Mandela. Number 7 was Catwoman. Number 8 was Jesus. Number 9 was Thanos. And number 10 was Marcus Rashford. So, have we managed to get all the answers in? Yeah? Perfect. So, our next round is our hero theme tunes. So this is going to take a mixture of forms. So I'm going to play a couple of themes to you, so you can guess them, and then there's a couple of questions about them as well. So hopefully we just got to do a little jiggery pokery, and then should. So number 1, name that tune. Here we go. And that's all I'm going to give you. I think that's enough. I'll do it again. Just let us know if you can hear that on. And you've got 30 seconds or something? Last few seconds. And then question number 2. So question 2, which superhero's theme tune contains the lyrics, "He's terrific, he's magnific, he's the greatest secret agent in the world"? Last 10 seconds. Right, name this tune. Here we go. I might need to play it again and get it right. That was the wrong tune. I had the wrong tune in my head. Let's try again. That might make a bit more sense as well, so I'll play it again. Having a mare with that one. Okay, and we'll move on to question number 4. Who wrote the song Iron Man that was used in the Marvel film Iron Man? $30 seconds. Simon, 30 seconds. Not paying attention, clearly. Last 10 seconds. And that is time up. So our next Name That Tune, let's see if I can play this one any better. Not technically a theme, I know, but it's from a film with a hero. So I'll play it again. And that's your time up. So we're on to question number 6. So which group of heroes theme tune has the lyrics, "They're the world's most famous fighting team. They're heroes in a half shell and they're green"? There's a pretty big clue in there. So which group of heroes theme tune has the lyrics, "They're the world's most fearsome fighting team. They're heroes in a half shell and they're green"? Last 5 seconds. And that's time up. Right, let's do the next tune that will be very interesting as well. Here we go. That's all I'm going to play of it. So I'll play it again. And that's time up. So number 8. Which superhero did Queen write the theme tune for? 30 seconds. So which superhero did Queen write the theme tune for? Last 10 seconds. And that's your time up. So your last tune. See if this goes any better. So. I'll play it again. Hopefully you've got a good idea of some of these and they're not that bad that you can't recognise them at all. Right, last 5 seconds. Right, so number 10. Which superhero's theme tune contains the lyrics, "All the world is waiting for you and the power you possess in your satin tights, fighting for your rights, and the old red, white and blue"? So, which superhero's theme tune contains the lyrics, "All the world is waiting for you and the power you possess in your satin tights, fighting for your rights, and the old red, white and blue"? Last 5 seconds. And now we'll put up on the screen all of them, and you've got a minute to just submit your answers. Clearly that's not working, so we'll oh, no, now it's working. So you've got a minute. last 30 seconds. And then we'll give you answers to round 3. Last 10 seconds. So, in the geography round, so question number 1. So these were the easy ones, really. Selfies. So, it was, of course, the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Number 2 was the Great Wall of China, in China. Number 3 was the Sphinx in Egypt. Number 4, the Taj Mahal in India. Number 5, the Machu Picchu in Peru? I have no idea how you pronounce this. This is definitely a reason to go through these beforehand. Number 6 is New York. I know some of you have been there before. Number 7 is Venice in Italy. Number 8 is Rome in Italy as well. Number 9 was Paris in France. And number 10 is some random place in the UK, which, given that some of you live there, you should have really gotten the answer right. But there's someone that's very angry about the fact you didn't, so just so you know. So, what's going to happen now? We're going to have our half-time break. So, this is your bonus round. There is a link to the bonus round in the description below for you to answer all of these and to fill them in. But if you're doing it manually, that means you can do it here. So we're going to give you 15 minutes, and then we'll be back in 15 minutes' time. Good luck. Hey guys, welcome back to the second half of our quiz. What we're going to do, we're going to start off by giving you the scores on the doors, because everyone wants to know where they're at. I think everyone had a solid bonus round and everybody got 15 out of 15, so well done. Either you're geniuses or it was a bit easy. So, we're going to just put the scores up on the screen for you now. So you should be able to see them. So in 6th place is the Avengers with 36 points. Well done, the Avengers. In 5th place is the Scooby Gang with 40 points. In 4th place is the In-Betweeners with 42 points. Well done, In-Betweeners. In 3rd place, Pandemic at the Disco with 42 points, so we'll get a tie going on there. And in 2nd place is the Quiz Marvels, also with 42 points. Wow, 3 teams on 42, and clearly winning at the moment with 47 points is the Kenya Trust, aka the Northwoods. So it's still all to play for with this next 4 rounds. So let's kick off with the first round of the second half, which is history. So question number 1. Hang on, before we do, these are also very, 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 very tenuous links. You will begin to find that out as we go. So here we go. Question number 1. A good era for Tony Stark, which age came after the Bronze Age? So a good era for Tony Stark, clearly the Bronze Age. Which age came after the Bronze Age? See what I mean by tenuous? They get worse, if you can believe it. I did not write this round. I'd like to put that disclaimer in now. So your last 5 seconds. And question number 2. So not to be confused with Superman, which life-changing invention was launched in 1903? Not to be confused with Superman, which life-changing invention was launched in 1903? 30 seconds starts now. Tenuous, tenuous, tenuous. Last 10 seconds. And that is time. So, question number 3. Jane Foster, Mighty Thor, shares the first name as Henry VIII's 3rd wife. But what was the name of his 5th wife? We're looking for the full name here. The full name. So Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor, shares the same first name as Henry VIII's 3rd wife, but what was the name of his 5th wife? We're looking for the full name. We'll have to judge 30 seconds because for some reason it's not working. About 10 seconds left, guys. And that's time. So we'll move on to question number 4. So Blue Dragon is a superhero from Vietnam. From which country did Vietnam claim independence in 1945? So Blue Dragon is a superhero from Vietnam. Which country did Vietnam claim independence from in 1945? We seem to be having some more technical issues, so we're timing it, and I'll let you know. The suspense, I'm sure, is killing you. Ten seconds left. And that is time up. So we're on to question number 5. The people of Wakanda are particularly good at embracing and developing new technologies. But can you name either of the tech-savvy students that founded Google in 1998? The people of the Wakanda are particularly good at embracing and developing new technologies. But can you name either of the tech-savvy students that founded Google in 1998? Last 10 seconds. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, and we move on to question number 6. Which, okay. This is not question number 6. This is just a nice background and picture of a cross. And I'm going to make small talk whilst we try and fix the fact that the computer has decided to close the PowerPoint down and we haven't got question number 6 right now. So, have we got another joke? We're very sorry about this. We've been here for ages trying to make sure everything's working, and of course the gremlins have got in and it ain't working. So why was Thor avoiding his brother? He owed him money. Right, so we've got question number 6. Come up. So the Guardians of the Galaxy often travel to different planets, but on which planet did the NASA rover Spirit successfully land in 2004? The Guardians of the Galaxy often travel to different planets, but on which planet did the NASA rover Spirit successfully land in 2004? Clearly a little typo in there. We are true professionals here. Last 5 seconds. And we'll move on to question 7 now. It's working. So the X-Men headquarters can be found in New York, but what was New York named before 1664? So the X-Men headquarters can be found in New York, but what was New York named before 1664? Really using your superhero knowledge right here, right now. Last 10 seconds. And that's your time up. Number 8. Hawkeye is said to be the reincarnation of the first Egyptian pharaoh to build a pyramid. What was his name? This is probably the most kind of actually linked one. So Hawkeye is said to be the reincarnation of the first Egyptian pharaoh to build a pyramid. What was his name? This could really make the difference in the quiz, in the scores, I reckon. There's going to definitely be some people that have no idea what's going on here, and some people that might have an idea of what's going on here. I'm definitely the camp that has no idea what's going on here. Last few seconds. And that's your time up. So question number 9. Hercules was a Roman hero and god, but under which emperor did Christianity become the main religion of the Roman Empire? Hercules was a Roman hero and god, but under which emperor did Christianity become the main religion of the Roman Empire? Just in case you were wondering, he was both a Greek and a Roman god. Just for those who want to send us in any comments to say we're wrong. We got you. Last 10 seconds. And that is time. So last question this round. Captain America fought in World War II. What was the code name for the Battle of Normandy? So Captain America fought in World War II. What was the code name for the Battle of Normandy? Last 10 seconds. And that is time up. So, here are all the questions. So you've got a minute just to finish off and to submit your answers. Last 10 seconds. And that's your time up. So we're going to go to the answers for round 4. So our dubious hero themes. So question number 1. I hope most of you got that one right. It was Batman. Number 2 was which superhero's theme tune contains the lyrics, "He's terrific, he's magnific, he's the greatest secret agent in the world"? It's Danger Mouse. Number 3 was the Superman theme tune. Number 4 was who wrote the song Iron Man that was used in the Marvel films? It was Black Sabbath. Name that tune. It was somebody, I think, identified it quite correctly. I Will Go the Distance, but of course it was a film we were looking for, and it was Hercules. So question 6 was which group of heroes theme tune has the lyrics, "They're the world's most fearsome fighting team, they're heroes in a half shell, and they're green"? Of course, it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think we had everybody answer that one correctly. So, name that tune. It was Inspector Gadget. Number 8, which superhero did Queen write the theme for? It was Flash Gordon. Flash, you're welcome. The next tune was Popeye the Sailor Man. And the last question was which superhero's theme tune contains the lyrics, "All the world is waiting for you and the power you possess in your satin tights, fighting for your rights and the old red, white and blue"? It was Wonder Woman. Well done if you got that correct. So, our bonus round answers, which you all got correct, so you all know. So, well, to be fair, there's no point in spending too much time on this one. So we'll move on to the next round. So this is our heroes and villains of the Bible. So these are all people of the Bible, and these are multiple choice. So you are able to just write it in the letter. I'm looking for confirmation. Yes. So you can just write in the letter in your answer. So who builds the second temple used for trade that Jesus destroyed? Was it Pontius Pilate, Herod, or Caesar Augustus? A, B, or C? 30 seconds on the clock. Last 10 seconds. And that is time. So question number 2. Cain and Abel offer different sacrifices to God. What is Cain's sacrifice? Is it A, meat, B, grain, or C, Abel? A, meat, B, grain, or C, Abel? 30 seconds on the clock. There's your last 10 seconds. And that's your time up. So number 3, which god does Queen Jezebel worship? Is it A, Osiris, B, Baal, or C, Ammon? Is it A, Osiris, B, Baal, or C, Ammon? 30 seconds on the clock. Every time. Ten seconds left. That is time up. Question number 4. Which villain of the Bible, despite his villainous actions, is argued to be a key part of the gospel story? Is it A, David, B, Herod, or C, Judas? A, David, B, Herod, or C, Judas? Ten seconds. And that's time up. Number 5. Japheth makes a deal with God to sacrifice the next thing he sees. What does he sacrifice? A heifer, B, his wife, C, his daughter. A heifer, B, his wife, or C, his daughter. Ten seconds. And that is time. Which Bible villain does God transform into a Bible hero? Is it A, Stephen, B, Saul, or C, Samuel? A, Stephen, B, Saul, C, Samuel. Last 10 seconds. time up. Question number 7. In order for Joshua to win the battle against the Amalekites, what did Moses need to do? Did he hold up his hands, light torches and blow a ram's horn, march around the city with the Ark of the Covenant? Did he hold up his hand, light torches and blow a ram's horn, or march around the city with the Ark of the Covenant? Last 10 seconds. And that's time. So question number 8. Jael is an Israelite woman who kills the leader of the Canaanite army with a tent peg. What drink does she give him first? Is it A, water, B, wine, or C, milk? A, water, B, wine, or C, milk? You got 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Last 10 seconds. And that's time up. So 9. What does John the Baptist eat? Is it A, locusts, B, gnats, or C, flies? A, locust, B, gnats, C, flies. Last 5 seconds. And that's time up. Question 10. What is the name of the Bible hero who marries Judah? Is it A, Esther, B, Tamar, or C, Rahab? Is it A, Esther, B, Tamar, or C, Rahab? Last 10 seconds. And that is your time up. So here's the list of all the questions. You've got a minute just to have a look at them again if you need to, and get submitting your answers. Ten seconds left. And that's your time up. So we move on to our answers from the history round, loosely related to superheroes somehow. So question 1, a good era for Tony Stark, which age came after the Bronze Age? It was the Iron Age. Number 2, Not to be confused with Superman, which life-changing invention was launched in 1903. It was the aeroplane. Number 3, Jane Foster, the mighty Thor, shares the same first name as Henry VIII's third wife, but what was the name of his fifth wife? It was Catherine Howard. Blue Dragon is a superhero from Vietnam. From which country did Vietnam claim independence in 1945? It was from France. Number 5, the people of Wakanda are particularly good at embracing and developing new technologies. But can you name either of the tech-savvy students that founded Google in 1998? It's Larry Page or Sergey Brin. Number 6, the Guardians of the Galaxy often travel to different planets. But on which planet did the NASA rover Spirit successfully land in 2004? It was, of course, on Mars. Number 7, the X-Men headquarters can be found in New York. But what was New York named before 1664? It was New Amsterdam. Number 8, Hawkeye is said to be the reincarnation of the first Egyptian pharaoh to build a pyramid. What was his name? It was Pharaoh Khufu. Definite pronunciation there. Hercules was a Roman hero and god, but under which emperor did Christianity become the main religion of the Roman Empire? It was Emperor Constantine. Number 10, Captain America fought in World War II. What was the code name for the Battle of Normandy? It was Operation Overlord. So that was the history round. So we move on to our 7th round, which is movie synonyms. So we've got an example for you so you can't get an idea. So Arachnid Boy would be Spider-Man. So in all of these, they're going to have that kind of principle, and you've got to try and work out the movie slash character from that. So question number 1. Amazement female. Amazement female. 30 seconds on the clock. Ten seconds left. And that's time. So number 2. Professor Bizarre. Professor Bizarre. Last 5 seconds. And that is time up. So question number 3 is the absurd chunk. The absurd chunk. 30 seconds on the clock. Last 10 seconds. And that is time up. So, the custodians of the Milky Way. The custodians of the Milky Way. Last 10 seconds. And that's time up. Moving on to question number 5. Stuntman. Who is stuntman? So just in case you're struggling, you're looking for the name of the character or the movie. So like Arachnid Boy was Spider-Man. That's the principle you're going for. So what stuntman, who is it? And that's time up. So what film is The Dim Cavalier? The Dim Cavalier, which film is this? Last 10 seconds. And that's time. So, which series of films? The Retaliators. Last 10 seconds. And that's your time up. Number 8, extraordinary quaternary. I will get the word out. Extraordinary quaternary. There we go. Just think of this round as if I've just got my thesaurus out and looking at films and just exchanging the words for another word. Last few seconds. And that's time. Number 9, The Wiz. Who is The Wiz? Last 10 seconds. And that's time. So the final one is Emerald Flashlight. Emerald Flashlight. Last 10 seconds. And that is time. So we'll put up all of the clues. So if you missed some in the beginning, you've got some time now to just go back over them. But remember, just imagine like you've got a thesaurus. So the example being Arachnid Boy being Spider-Man. Last 10 seconds. Okay, and that's your time up. So, before we move on to the answers from round 6, we thought we'd show you the scores on the doors as they are at the moment before we go into the final round. So this is the scores up until the end of round 6. So we haven't clearly scored round 7 yet. So this will be the 2 rounds worth. So in 6th place is the Avengers with 47 points. In 5th place is the Scooby Gang with 55 points. In 4th place is Pandemic at the Disco with 55 points as well. Well done. In 3rd place is Quiz Marvels with 57 points. In 2nd place is the In-Betweeners with 59 points. And leading still is the Kenya Trust with 60 points. So it's still tight with our last 2 rounds to be scored. So we'll give you now the answers to round 6. The heroes and villains of the Bible. Here we go. So question number 1 was, who builds the second temple used for trade that Jesus destroyed? It was Herod. Number 2, Cain and Abel offered different sacrifices to God. What is Cain's sacrifice? It was meat. Number 3, which god did Queen Jezebel worship? It was Baal. Number 4, which villain of the Bible, despite his villainous actions, is argued to be a key part of the gospel story? It is Judas. Japheth makes a deal with God to sacrifice the next thing he sees. What does he sacrifice? It's his daughter. Which Bible villain does God transform into a Bible hero? It is Saul, who turns into Paul. In order for Joshua to win the battle against the Amalekites, what did Moses need to do? He needed to hold his hands up. Number 8, Jael is an Israelite woman who kills the leader of the Canaanite army with a tent peg. What drink does she give him first? She gives him a drink of milk. What does John the Baptist eat? He eats locusts. And last one, what is the name of the Bible hero who marries Judah? It is Tamar. So that was the answers to round 6. So on to our final round. It's our general knowledge round. Again, some of these are tenuous at best, but you know. So let's go for it. Question number 1. Iron Man's suit is actually made from a form of thin titanium. What is the chemical symbol for titanium? So Iron Man's suit is actually made from a form of thin titanium. What is the chemical symbol for titanium? And 10 seconds left. And that is time. Question number 2. In the early days, it was called the DB, but which fictional New York City tabloid newspaper often appears in the comic books published by Marvel Comics? In the early days, it was often called the DB, but which fictional New York City tabloid newspaper often appears in the comic books published by Marvel Comics? Ten seconds left. And that's time up. So number 3, how many dozen eggs does Gaston eat every day in Beauty and the Beast? So how many dozen eggs does Gaston eat every day in Beauty and the Beast? 30 seconds on the clock. I know you're all singing this song at home right now. Well, if you know it, I guess. It helps because it has the answer in it. Right, last 10 seconds. And that is time. Number 4. A mortally wounded Detroit police officer named Alex Murphy was transformed into which powerful cyborg? A mortally wounded Detroit police officer named Alex Murphy was transformed into which powerful cyborg? Last 10 seconds. And that's time. Number 5. Which fictional material is Superman's greatest weakness? Which fictional material is Superman's greatest weakness? 30 seconds up on the clock. Last 10 seconds. And that's time. Question number 6. What video game is Thor addicted to in the Avengers Endgame? So what video game is Thor addicted to in Avengers Endgame? Last 10 seconds. And that's time. So, question number 7. Which Robin took up Batman's job after he died? Which Robin took up Batman's job after he died? I don't think it's Robin Redbreast, just in case you're wondering. I find myself funny if no one else does. Last 10 seconds. And that is time. So, question number 8. What type of dog did Governor Ratcliffe have at the beginning of Pocahontas? What type of dog did Governor Ratcliffe have at the beginning of Pocahontas? This, of course, referring to the Disney film. Last 10 seconds. And that's time. Question number 9. Which fictional superhero comes from the island nation of the Mysqueria? Which fictional superhero comes from the island nation of the Mysqueria? Last 10 seconds. I'm sure they just put these questions in to challenge whether I can actually pronounce stuff. It's deliberate. Time. So, question number 10. Final question of the quiz. So, Superman is a vegetarian. Which country has the highest percentage of vegetarians? A top drawer superhero related question for you. Superman is a vegetarian. Which country has the highest percentage of vegetarians? Who knows? Your last 10 seconds. And that's time. So, here are all the questions for you. You've got a minute just to have a look through them and to get submitting your answers. And then we'll go through the answers to the final 2 rounds, and then hopefully we'll be ready with our scores. Last 10 seconds. And that is your time up. So, if you make sure you've submitted your answers, and then Laura can get marking those. Meanwhile, we'll go through the answers to round 7, movie synonyms. So, the first question was, amazement female was Wonder Woman. Number 2 was Professor Bizarre, which was Doctor Strange. Number 3 was the absurd chunk, the Incredible Hulk. Number 4 was Custodians of the Milky Way, which of course was Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 5 was Stuntman, of course Daredevil. Number 6, the Dim Cavalier, was the Dark Knight. Number 7, the Retaliators, is the Avengers. Number 8, Extraordinary Quaternary, was the Fantastic Four. The Wiz was the Flash. And the last one was Emerald Flashlight, which was Green Lantern. So before we just go on to the answers for round 8, I want to just check that we've got all the... So if the Kenya Trust would kindly submit their answers for round 8, and then we can give the answers. It's good to just to make sure that you got your answers. I'll give you a joke whilst we're waiting. Why did Spider-Man get in trouble with his mum? He spent too much time on the web. Ba-dum-dum. Have we got the answers? Please say, oh, that means you're getting another joke, guys. Come on, the pressure's on you so we get no more jokes. Why did Wonder Woman have to keep getting new aeroplanes? She kept forgetting where she parked her old one. Get it? Have we got the answer in? Okay, we've got another one coming. What did Bruce Wayne's mum put over his crib? A Batmobile. Please, stop this pain. Why did Robin pick up the telephone? It bat rang. Any joy? Kenya Trust, are you having issues submitting? Why couldn't Batman go fishing? Robin ate all the worms. Oh. Why did all the pictures come out dark in the superhero party? They forgot to invite the Flash. What you guys aren't getting at home is that whilst these jokes are being fed to me, they're also coming with laughter down my ear as well. Any joy? Which means we need another joke. Oh gosh. Any jokes, dare I ask? Who? Oh, you're one. What is Thor's favourite food? They're laughing so hard I can't actually hear the answer. Tortillas. Oh. We're there. Thank the Lord. No more jokes. You'll be pleased to know we're there and we're good to go with the next lot of answers. So, the general knowledge answers. So, question 1. Iron Man's suit is actually made from a form of thin titanium. What is the chemical symbol for titanium? It is Ti. Number 2, in the early days, it was called the DB, but which fictional New York City tabloid newspaper often appears in the comic books published by Marvel Comics? It is the Daily Bugle. How many dozen eggs does Gaston eat every day in Beauty and the Beast? It is 5. A mortally wounded Detroit police officer named Alex Murphy was transformed into which powerful cyborg? It was RoboCop. Which fictional material is Superman's greatest weakness? It is kryptonite. Number 6, what video game is Thor addicted to in Avengers Endgame? It's Fortnite. Which Robin took up Batman's job after he died? It was Dick Grayson. What type of dog did Governor Ratcliffe have at the beginning of Pocahontas? It was a pug. Which fictional superhero comes from the island nation of the Mr. whatever? Wonder Woman was the answer. And number 10, Superman is a vegetarian. Which country has the highest percentage of vegetarians? It is India. At 38%. There you go. So, that brings us to the end of our quiz. And we're just calculating all the scores. And the scores are in. So, how do you want to do this? Are you going to reveal it all in one? Okay. So, to keep the suspense going, we won't show you all at the same time. So, in 6th place, with 56 points, is The Avengers. In 5th place, with 71 points, is Pandemic at the Disco. In 4th place, with 72 points, very close, is the Scooby Gang. Well done, Scooby Gang. And now we're into the podium places. So, 3rd place, with 73 points, is the Quiz Marbles. Well done, Quiz Marbles. So we're down to the last 2 places. So in 2nd place, with 75 points, is the In-Betweeners, making the Kenya Trust, aka the Northwoods, the winners with a grand total of 78 points. Well done, guys. Really well done. So that brings us to the end of our evening. So thank you very much for joining us. We hope you've had a bit of fun and it's been a bit of a laugh. And we'll perhaps look to put another quiz on in the new year if you're interested. But thanks to the team that have been helping me with the scoring and all of the tech and AV. And we will see you at some point. Take care of yourselves and goodbye.